Hello students, today we are going to discuss the chapter that is Who Did Patrick's Homework from the book Honeysuckle. Okay, so we are going to start it now. As in you can see the introduction part, the introductory part here it is written, this is a wonderful story which has presented magical realism. Now students, what is magical realism? Magical realism is which means that something that is not magic but a belief. एक तरह से आपका किसी चीज के अंदर बिलीफ होना जो कि मैजिकल नहीं है बट इट सीम्स टू बी लाइक मैजिकल, ओके, लाइक सम सुपर नेचुरल पावर और सम डिवाइन पावर is helping you in it and you have a firm faith, you have a firm belief in it. Okay, now in a beautiful manner this story has been projected in a very beautiful way. And who is the character who has been helped by that magical power? It is the protagonist, that is our character Patrick. Okay, now a boy Patrick who gets inspired and feels propelled. What does propel means? Propel means to drive or to push in a particular direction. Okay, so propelled to work hard by an imaginary elf. Here Patrick, who is the main character of our story, is pushed to work hard by the character, the supernatural being, that is the elf. Who is elf? Elf is a supernatural being. Okay, like you can say in your fairy tales there is fairies, okay, angels. So same is elf. Okay, then he is not only able to complete his work but was able to score high grades. Now we can see that with the help of elf he was not able to complete his work. Also he scored high grades in exams. Now you see, this story conveys the message that self-help work. This story conveys the message that self-help works wonders. Okay, now we'll discuss the summary. Okay, now Patrick was an active boy who loved outdoor games like hockey and basketball. As in the images you can see, he loved hockey, okay, he loved playing basketball, and also he loved a game that was Nintendo. Okay, Nintendo basically is a video game. Okay, now he was an enthusiastic player but somehow was not interested. As you see, sometimes when we are at a childhood age we don't like studying much. Same was the case with Patrick. Okay, then what happened? Because of his poor interest in studies, he shirked work and was warned strictly by his teacher. Now see, what does shirked means? Shirked means to avoid something that you are supposed to do. Okay, same was the case with Patrick. He tried to avoid his studies. He had to study. He has to maintain his daily routine by doing his homework, by doing tests, everything, but he didn't do anything on time. Now, so in this you see that Patrick is being scolded by his master, his teacher, and what is the teacher saying? Patrick, do your homework or you won't learn a thing. And here is the Patrick now. And it's true, sometimes he did feel like a ignoramus, but what could he do? Now, what is ignoramus? Ignoramus is someone who lacks education, someone who feels ignorant because he lacks education. And same was the case with Patrick. Then one day he found his cat playing with a little doll. What happened? He was there in a park and he found his cat playing with a little doll. Now see what happens. Okay, so one day Patrick observed his cat playing with a doll, but when he looked at it closely, he found that it was a small man elf. Now, what happened here? Here, he saw that his cat was playing with a doll, but he also thought that it was a doll. But when he observed it closely, it was not a doll, it was an elf. And I have told you before that elf is a supernatural being like the fairies, the angels. Okay, now he was wearing a woolen shirt. Now here the attire of elf is described, that is he was wearing a woolen t-shirt and moreover he was wearing breeches. What are breeches? Breeches are small trousers. I am going to show you the image of how breeches look like. Okay, now he pleaded, what did he do? He pleaded, he requested basically. Okay, Patrick, whom did he request? He requests to Patrick to save him from cat. Okay, and he promised to grant him a wish, and promised to grant him as in same like Santa Claus we can consider, like as in Santa Claus grants us a wish, okay, in Christmas. So same goes with elf. Now what happens? Patrick felt happy, called himself a fortunate one. Obviously, Patrick, we know that somewhat he doesn't like to study. Okay, Hannah. And moreover, we also know that he likes playing outdoor games. So what happens here? He wants someone to do his work, right? Now what happens? He asked the elf to do his homework in return, though the elf was not ready for it yet. As an elf is a supernatural being, how will he be agreeing to the point what Patrick wants him to do? Now what happens? He offered to do this for him for 35 days, one semester. As in, what is semester? Semester, like as in you have semester exams, SA1, SA2, same is, he asked him to do his work for at least one semester, that is 35 days. Now, however, a problem arose when the elf told that he knew nothing of maths and history. Now there there was a problem. What was the problem? Elf didn't know. What didn't know? He knew nothing of maths and history. Now, he needed help to do these subjects. Now who will help him? Obviously Patrick will help him, because elf is totally unaware about maths and history. Now, Patrick agreed and brought many books to read and consult. Now Patrick bought many of the books. बहुत सारी किताबें ले आया. किसके लिए लेके आ गया? पढ़ने के लिए, obviously उससे कंसल्ट करने के लिए, क्योंकि वो एक बार को करेगा वो एल्फ की हेल्प, लेकिन वो किसकी हेल्प कर रहा है? वो खुद की ही हेल्प कर रहा है, एल्फ की हेल्प करने के बहाने से. अब Patrick agreed and brought many books to read and consult. He sat next to the elf and put in a hard toll to complete the work. अब यहाँ पे he will do a very hard work, okay, to help in order to make understand whom? Elf. Now what will happen? As in you can see in the images, okay, here is the elf. This is our character elf, and what is he wearing? He is wearing breeches. As you can see, breeches are short trousers. These are basically pants only, but short trousers. Breeches looks like this. Now, he grabbed it away from the doll. उसने पकड़ा, उसने खींचा, किससे? एल्फ को खींचा कैट से, उसने बचाया basically एल्फ को. Then, to his surprise, it wasn't a doll at all, but a man of the tiniest size. अब हमारा जो कैरेक्टर है पैट्रिक, वो सरप्राइज हुआ. क्यों सरप्राइज हुआ? क्योंकि वो एक एक्चुअली पैट्रिक तो समझ रहा था वो डॉल है, पर वो डॉल नहीं थी. वो क्या था? एक एल्फ था, हमें पता है ऑलरेडी, और वो बहुत टाइनी साइज, छोटी साइज का था, तभी तो वो डॉल जैसा दिख रहा था. ही हैड अ लिटिल वूल शर्ट, उसने वुलन टी शर्ट पहन रखी थी, एंड क्या पहना था? ओल्ड फैशन ब्रीचेस. Now, and a tall hat much like witches. हाँ, we know that there are characters witches basically, जैसे हमने हैरी पॉटर में देखा है, there are witches, and वो जिस तरह की hats पहनती हैं, उसी तरह की hat किसने पहनी थी? हमारे एक और character ने, elf ने. Now, what is elf saying over here? He is saying, save me from the cat and I promise to grant you a wish. We know that already. Now, only if you do all my homework till the end of, now what Patrick is saying? Patrick is saying only if you do all my homework till the end of the semester, that's 35 days. Then, and if you do a good job, I could even get A's. Now what is he telling to elf? That if you help me in my job, I can score A grade. Okay, then. The little man's face wrinkled like a dishcloth thrown in the hamper. जैसा हम एक बास्केट में कपड़ा धोने के लिए डालते हैं तो वो थोड़ा सा wrinkle हो जाता है ना, उसमें सल्प आ जाते हैं, उसी तरह से हमारे कैरेक्टर एल्फ का फेस wrinkle हो गया, झुर्रियाँ आ गई एकदम से. ओके, he kicked his legs and doubled his fists. Actually हम कभी disgust शो करते हैं, हम कभी annoyance शो करते हैं, हम कभी irritate होते हैं ना, तो हमारा कैसा reaction होता है? हम क्या करते हैं? हम ऐसे पैर मारते हैं ज़मीन पे. He kicked his legs. Okay, and what did he do? he doubled his fist, ऐसे ही मुट्ठी बना ली, दोनों हाथों से मुट्ठी बना लिया, हाथ मार रहा था वो, कौन? एल्फ। क्यों मार रहा था? क्योंकि वो करना ही नहीं चाहता था उस काम को। And he grimaced and scowled. What does grimaced and scowled means? That you don't want to do that work, and you are showing a disapproval for that, and you are showing a disgust for that. Okay, you are feeling annoyed about it. You don't want to do it. Okay, now what happened? Here, exactly after 35 days, when the semester was over, the elf went away quietly. Now, what happened? After 35 days, semester was over and elf went away quietly. Okay, then the elf went away quietly. The Patrick scored a grade A. What did he get? He get A grade. Now, everyone appreciated him. He became a very different person who was hardworking, generous, and an exemplary boy. He got A grade. Okay. And what did he do after that? He became very hardworking boy. He became generous, became kind-hearted. He started caring for others as well, and he became an exemplary boy. He became an example, a role model for others. Okay, then Patrick thought it is he who helped him score high, but in reality it was Patrick himself who did all the good and changed the score. Now, this is the whole idea of this chapter. What is the idea? Actually, Patrick thought that it is he who helped him score high, but in reality, it was Patrick. Now you see, Patrick was thinking that elf is helping him to score high grades or A grade in the exam, but it was not elf. He was helping elf. We know that he was helping elf to, to get the material of the books and everything, to consult and everything. We know that. But it was not elf he was helping him. Patrick realized it later on that he was helping himself by collecting the materials for the study. Okay, like as when we know he got books for math and history and all, we know that. Okay, now here you see that elf is saying, what is elf saying? Elf is saying, what are timetables? Elf doesn't know what is the timetable. Okay, we elves never need that, and addition and subtraction and division and fractions. Now elf also doesn't know what is addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. He doesn't know that. Okay, then here sit down beside me, you simply must guide me. What does elf want? Elf wants Patrick to guide him, because elf is totally unaware of what all these things are all about. Now the elf shrieked and shouted. What is shrieking? Like making your voice high. He made his voice go on a high pitch. Now he shouted, he started growling, he started shouting. Okay, he didn't understand human history. Elf didn't understand human history. Obviously, how would he? He's a supernatural being. How will he be having any sort of an idea about it? Then he asked Patrick to go to the library and find more books to help him. Okay, so here we see that our character Patrick is going to the library and finding out more books to help elf, but we know very clearly that he is going to help himself again. Now here you see the elf was a nag. Nag is like constantly complaining about something. You are nagging about something constantly, continuously. Okay, Patrick was working harder and staying up at nights. Patrick started working harder. Okay, he started studying harder basically, and staying up at nights. Okay, why would he stay up at night? Because he has to study for himself. Okay, then here you see, he went to school with his eyes puffed and bleary. What is puffed? What is bleary? हम देखते हैं ना कभी कभी ज़्यादा पढ़ने की वजह से, जैसे अपन कभी ज़्यादा मोबाइल देख लें, या फिर हम कभी ज़्यादा आप देखिए हम कभी ज़्यादा अगर काम कर लें, टायर्डनेस की वजह से हमारी आंखें भारी नहीं हो जाती हैं. उसी केस में यहाँ पे हमारे पैट्रिक के साथ होता है, ज़्यादा रात भर पढ़ने की वजह से उसकी आंखें पफी हो जाती हैं एंड उसकी आंखें ब्लरी हो जाती है, काफ़ी टायर्ड नज़र आती हैं, उसकी आंखों में नींद भरी होती है. ठीक है, एंड फाइनली द लास्ट डे ऑफ स्कूल अराइव्ड एंड द एल्फ वॉज फ्री टू गो. Now the last day of the school arrived, okay, and Elf was free to go. We know that Elf has already gone after a semester's got over. Then Patrick got his A's. His classmates were amazed. Obviously his classmates will be shocked that जो लड़का पढ़ाई नहीं करता था, जिस लड़के को पढ़ाई में इंटरेस्ट नहीं होता था, अब उसको सडनली ए ग्रेड कैसे मिल गए. ठीक है. Now so what did Patrick go? He got A grade. Okay. Now his teachers smiled and were full of praise. Obviously we know that his teachers smiled and they were praising Patrick for his hard work, for getting A grade in the semester exams. Now, and his parents, obviously when your school classmates are happy with you, when your teachers are happy with you, obviously your parents will be proud of you, you know that. So, and his parents, they wondered what happened to Patrick. Obviously what happened to Patrick? They were shocked that our son didn't used to study. Now what has happened to him suddenly? Okay. They wondered what happened to Patrick. He was now the model kid. Obviously everyone wanted to be like our character, that is Patrick. He became a role model in the school. He cleaned his room, अपने रूम की साफ सफाई करने लगा. ठीक है. Did his course, did his daily routine work, whatever was there, whatever he has to do in a daily life. Okay. Then he was cheerful, बहुत खुश रहने लगा. He started, being contented, satisfied with himself only. Okay. Then never rude, कभी भी गुस्सा नहीं करता था. जब हम अपनी लाइफ में हर काम सही तरह से करने लगते हैं ना, जब we are moving in a right direction, when we are doing everything right, when we are disciplined in our life, when we are working hard, when we are getting good grades, obviously you will not feel angry about anything. You will be happy, you will be satisfied, you will be contented about whatever you are doing. And here is the case with Patrick. He never felt rude about anything then. Okay. Like he had developed a whole new attitude. Actually his whole personality completely changed. His outlook towards life completely changed. He became a very positive person, and moreover he developed kindness in his heart. He became caring about others. He became generous about others. Okay. Then Patrick still thought he'd made that tiny man do all his homework, but actually somewhere he was thinking that he has made Elf do his homework. Okay. But it wasn't the Elf at all. We all know that it wasn't Elf at all. You see that the main change in your life starts with you yourself. No one is going to help you. When you were born, when you took birth, okay, it was you alone who took birth, okay, and there was no one at that point of time, okay. So the thing is that in life also, this is your alone journey. This journey you have to fulfill by yourself, and same is the case with Patrick. No one is going to come to help you to be disciplined, to do great in life, to become successful in life. The change starts from you yourself, and the change starts from within. Okay. But it wasn't the Elf at all. Patrick had done it himself. Here we know that what? Patrick did all the work by himself. He helped himself. Okay. Now, we are going to discuss the word meanings over here. So, what is Nintendo? Nintendo is a video game. Then, ignoramus, we know ignoramus is an ignorant person who lacks education. I have already explained in the video before. Then, breeches, or what we can call it as short trousers. I have already shown you in the video how breeches look like. Okay. Then, the writer here spells it for fun to rhyme with the word witches. Okay. Then, grabbed means किसी चीज को पकड़ना, caught. Okay. Then tiniest, obviously smallest, छोटा सा. Then lucky is fortunate. Okay. Then problems are difficulties. Then semester, you see a half or quarter term in a school or university. Then dishcloth, a cloth used for washing clothes. or dishes. Okay, then hamper. Hamper is a basket with a lid. Okay. इसी में तो वो हमने अभी देखा था ना कि वो एक कपड़े के जैसे हम हैम्पर में कपड़े को डाल देते हैं तो उसमें सल आ जाते हैं, वैसे के वैसे सल किसके फेस पे आ गए थे? एल्फ के फेस पे आ गए थे जब पैट्रिक ने एल्फ से हेल्प मांगी थी. ठीक है. देन grimaced, scowled, pursued his lips. Grimaced, scowled, pursued his lips. What does it mean? His face had these expressions. These are basically expressions of the face. आप अपने मुंह को इस तरह से ट्विस्ट कर लेते हो कि आपके expressions ऐसे लगें जैसे disgusting. You don't want to do that work. It feels irritated in a way. Okay. So his face had these expressions showing disgust, anger, and disapproval. Disapproval means you don't want to do that work. You are disagreeing to do that work. Okay. Then wrinkled. Wrinkle means slight folds on skin because of old age. ठीक है, मतलब झुर्रियां आ जाना फेस पे. ठीक है, हम देखते हैं ओल्ड एज फेसेस लाइक जब हम अपने दादा दादी के फेसेस देखते हैं तो उनके फेसेस पे झुर्रियां होती हैं. ठीक है. सेम इज द सेम wrinkled. ओके. देन cursed. Cursed means ill fated. कर्स्ट के केस में हम जैसे ना शापित होना, श्राप लग जाना किसी चीज का, या फिर हम बोलते हैं बुरी किस्मत. ठीक है. ग्लिच. ग्लिच इज अ फॉल्ट इन अ मशीन दैट प्रिवेंट्स इट फ्रॉम वर्किंग प्रॉपरली. हम देखते हैं कभी कभी हमारा मोबाइल में प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है, कभी यूट्यूब चलने में प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है, कभी व्हाट्सएप ढंग से काम नहीं करता. व्हाट ऑल आर दीज आर टेक्निकल ग्लिचेस. सो यहाँ पे ग्लिच का मतलब क्या है? फॉल्ट इन अ मशीन दैट प्रिवेंट्स इट फ्रॉम वर्किंग प्रॉपरली. हेयर हिच और अ प्रॉब्लम, बेसिकली किसी भी चीज के काम में रुकावट आ जाना. ठीक है. देन elf. Elf, I've already explained you. Elf is a supernatural creature with pointed ears and magical powers. हमारा जो कैरेक्टर है यहाँ पे एल्फ के पॉइंटेड ईयर्स हैं. कभी आप हैरी पॉटर देखेंगे, आपको इस तरह के क्रीचर्स उसमें बहुत सारे देखने को मिलेंगे, राइट. और क्या है? मैजिकल पावर्स है हमारे एल्फ के पास. ठीक है. हमें ये भी पता है कि उसने विच की जैसी हैट पहनी हुई थी. ठीक है. उसके बाद स्क्वीक्ड. स्क्वीक्ड मीन्स क्राइंग आउट अलाउड, चिल्लाना, चीखना. देन श्रीक्ड. श्रीक्ड मीन्स gave a short high pitched cry, चीखना, बहुत जोर से चीखने लगना, चिल्लाना. ठीक है. Then nag. One who troubles someone all the time by complaining or asking them to do something. Like as in हमारी मदर्स भी कभी कभी नैग करती हैं घर पे. जैसे मम्मा बोलती रहती है कि ये करो, वो करो, ये ठीक से क्यों नहीं करो, वो ठीक से क्यों नहीं करो. So nagging is always complaining about something or the other thing. Okay. Then drag. Drag is something dull and uninteresting. किसी चीज का इंटरेस्टिंग ना होना बेसिकली. Then weary. Weary is extreme tiredness, बहुत ज़्यादा थकावट फेस पे दिखना. That is weary. Okay. Then bleary. Looking dull because of the tiredness. Bleary means looking dull because of the tiredness. And we know our character Patrick. He was looking dull, he was looking weary, he was looking bleary. Why? Because he was studying whole night. His eyes were getting puffy. We all know that, right? Then, so here we are going to discuss the question and answers of this chapter. Now, why did the elf grant Patrick a wish? We know that Patrick rescued elf's life from the cat. He saved the cat from the elf. Okay. And therefore the elf gave him a wish. And in return, what did the elf do? Elf gave him a wish. एक इच्छा दी कि कोई एक इच्छा है तुम्हारी तो बोलो, मैं पूरा करूँगा. Then he was a little man dressed in a wool shirt and pants. What was he wearing? Wool shirt and pants. And what was the name of his pant? It was breeches. Okay. With relief and joy, the elf granted Patrick's desire, which he would carry out. And what did Patrick desire him to do? He wanted him to complete his homework. Here it is written, Patrick asked the elf to do his homework since he found it boring. We know that Patrick didn't like to study. Okay. He was lazy in that case. Then, now second question, how did the elf react to Patrick's demand? Okay. So, upon hearing Patrick's demand, like उसने ना कैसा रिएक्शन दिया उस चीज़ पे, उसको कैसा फील हुआ, उसको कैसा लगा, ये पूछ रहा है क्वेश्चन में. ठीक है. So, upon hearing Patrick's demand, he kicked his legs. मैंने आप लोगों को बताया था पहले कि वो उसने अपने पैरों को जोर से जमीन पे पटका, जमीन पे पैरों को, दोनों पैरों को जोर से मारा। कभी कभी हम किसी चीज को नहीं करना चाहते तो हम इसी तरह से रिएक्ट करते हैं। देन मेड एंग्री एक्सप्रेशंस, हमने देखा था ग्रिमेस्ड, स्काउल्ड, हमने देखा था ना कि ये वो डिसअप्रूवल शो कर रहा है, अपना डिस्गस्ट शो कर रहा है, ठीक है, तो उसने गुस्से वाले एक्सप्रेशंस बनाए। देन एंड क्लेंच्ड हिज फिस्ट, मैंने कहा था मुट्ठी बना ली दोनों हाथों से, इस तरह से हाथों को जोर से हवा में मारा, ठीक है, एज साइंस ऑफ हिज डिसअप्रूवल, लाइक ही डिडंट वांट टू डू दैट वर्क। ओके, देन थर्ड क्वेश्चन, इन व्हाट सब्जेक्ट्स डिड द लिटिल मैन नीड हेल्प। अब यहाँ पे हमने देखा कि पैट्रिक बोल तो देता है एल्फ को उसकी हेल्प करने के लिए, लेकिन यहाँ पे हमें पता है कि एल्फ को खुद को हेल्प की जरूरत पड़ती है। किसकी हेल्प की? पैट्रिक की हेल्प की। और किस में पड़ती है जरूरत? यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है डिड द लिटिल मैन नीड हेल्प टू डू पैट्रिक्स होमवर्क, किस सब्जेक्ट में? द एल्फ फेल्ट मैथ एंड हिस्ट्री एज स्ट्रेंज एंड बिजार। ओके, सो व्हाट इज स्ट्रेंज? जो कि काफी अनयूजुअल हो, जो कि काफी अजीब सा हो। तो हम ह्यूमंस के लिए, हम स्टूडेंट्स के लिए हमें तो मैथ्स, हिस्ट्री, इंग्लिश, सोशल साइंस, हमें तो ये सारे सब्जेक्ट समझ में आते हैं, लेकिन हमें पता है कि एल्फ एक सुपर नेचुरल बीइंग है और उसको ये सारे सब्जेक्ट्स काफ़ी डिफरेंट लगेंगे, काफ़ी अनयूजुअल लगेंगे, काफ़ी स्ट्रेंज लगेंगे। एंड व्हाट डज बिजार मीन्स? इट मीन्स स्ट्रेंज, इट मीन्स अनयूजुअल। ओके, काफ़ी अजीब सा होना, ठीक है। देन बिकॉज द एल्फ्स नेवर नीडेड मैथमेटिकल कैलकुलेशंस। यार सी देखो, एल्फ के पास मैजिकल पावर थी तो उसको क्यों मैथमेटिकल कैलकुलेशन की जरूरत पड़ेगी? वो तो एक छड़ी घुमा के अपना काम कर लेगा। हमने देखा है ना हैरी पॉटर में, बहुत सारी इस तरह की सुपर नेचुरल मूवीज में कोई भी अपना काम जिसके पास भी छड़ी होती है तो हम देखते हैं ना कि वो एक छड़ी घुमाई और वो काम हो गया। सेम वही केस है यहाँ पे, ठीक है। तो उसको क्यों जरूरत पड़ेगी मैथमेटिकल कैलकुलेशंस की या हमारी तरह पढ़ाई करने की? देन एंड ही डिडंट नो एनीथिंग अबाउट ह्यूमंस और देयर हिस्ट्री। सो इधर हमें पता है कि ना तो एल्फ को मैथ्स आती थी और ना हिस्ट्री भी आती थी। हिस्ट्री में ह्यूमन हिस्ट्री बेसिकली, ओके, उसको जरूरत भी क्या है ह्यूमन हिस्ट्री या फिर मैथ्स पढ़ने की? देन फोर्थ क्वेश्चन, हाउ डिड पैट्रिक हेल्प हिम? अब यहाँ पे हमसे क्या पूछा गया है? पैट्रिक ने एल्फ की हेल्प कैसे करी? पैट्रिक हेल्प द एल्फ बाय गेटिंग हिम बुक्स फ्रॉम द लाइब्रेरी। लाइब्रेरी से बुक्स लाए। कौन लेके आए? पैट्रिक लेके आए। देन एक्सप्लेनिंग एंड रीडिंग देम अलाउड। और किसको एक्सप्लेन किया? एल्फ को एक्सप्लेन किया। कैसे? जोर जोर से पढ़ के। उसको किसको समझाया? एल्फ को समझाया। क्या समझाया? ये सब्जेक्ट्स जो कि एल्फ को नहीं आते थे, किसने समझाया? पैट्रिक ने समझाया। देन फिफ्थ क्वेश्चन, व्हाई डू यू थिंक डिड पैट्रिक्स होमवर्क द लिटिल मैन और पैट्रिक हिमसेल्फ? मतलब क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है हाँ, हु डू यू थिंक डिड पैट्रिक्स होमवर्क? किसने पैट्रिक का होमवर्क किया? एंड द लिटिल मैन और पैट्रिक हिमसेल्फ? लिटिल मैन, एल्फ या फिर पैट्रिक खुद? किसने होमवर्क किया पैट्रिक का? Give reasons for your answer. So, answer is due to the little man's pressure. किसके प्रेशर में? बिकॉज हमें पता है एल्फ को तो कुछ समझ आ ही नहीं रहा था, तो एल्फ तो कहीं ना कहीं परेशान था कि मुझे तो कुछ नहीं आता, मुझे गाइड करो भाई। किससे गाइड? उसने किससे गाइडेंस मांगी? पैट्रिक से गाइडेंस मांगी। तो अब यहाँ पे एक्चुअली कौन प्रेशराइज कर रहा था? एल्फ प्रेशराइज कर रहा था। किसको कर रहा था? पैट्रिक को कर रहा था। तो पैट्रिक कंप्लीटेड हिज असाइनमेंट। किसके प्रेशर में आके कंप्लीट किया? एल्फ के प्रेशर में आके हमारे पैट्रिक ने अपना असाइनमेंट कंप्लीट किया ऑन हिज ओन, खुद से ही, ठीक है। इन एडिशन टू हेल्पिंग हिम विथ हिस्ट्री एंड मैथ प्रॉब्लम्स, इन एडिशन टू हेल्पिंग हिम विथ हिस्ट्री एंड मैथ प्रॉब्लम, किसने हेल्प करी थी? पैट्रिक ने हेल्प करी थी। किसकी? एल्फ की, ठीक है। ही अर्ज्ड पैट्रिक टू लुक अप वर्ड मीनिंग्स। और क्या क्या पूछा उसने कि वर्ड मीनिंग्स भी बताओ मुझे, ठीक है। पैट्रिक टू लुक अप वर्ड मीनिंग्स फ्रॉम द डिक्शनरी। डिक्शनरी में से देख देख के मुझे वर्ड के मीनिंग्स भी समझाओ, ठीक है। दस ओवर एंड ओवर अगेन पैट्रिक हेल्प टू हेल्प द एल्फ। तो बार बार लगातार ओवर एंड ओवर अगेन पैट्रिक को किसकी हेल्प करनी पड़ रही थी? एल्फ की। सो here we have completed the chapter the summary word meanings and question and answers of who did Patrick's homework. Thank you and have a nice day.